Hello everyone, and welcome to week 2 of the BFR Teal Mask season something or other. I don't remember. Season 9, season 12, there's been a bunch of seasons I actually cannot remember. I've been in one of them. Two of them. I've been in 2 of them. So you know. I should hopefully remember. Season 12. Yeah. And I'm up against Bill, who is one of the mods. And they have this spooky rain team, very offensive and very solid speed control within the context of rain, and not as much solid speed control outside of the context of rain. So I like taking a look through a bunch of different options here, and yeah, Floatzel, Azumarill especially, but you know, Coolfish and Brute Bonnet as well, very spooky. Gudra is obviously quite strong. Slaking at one point is like even scarier than the Oranguru that I got at one point, which is pretty good. And I think a bit easier to bring than Oranguru as well. So yeah, that's definitely something to consider. It's quite tanky and it's quite strong. In the current format, it doesn't have access to Double Edge, which is a saving grace, so it's only using Retaliate or Giga Impact. But yes, Zapdos in Rain, always spooky. Jirachi is quite an annoying Pokemon to get through unless they have Rain Up, which is good because they have Rain. And they probably want Rain Up. And yeah, just makes Heatran very difficult to bring. And Corviknight is 2-hit KO'd by Banded Floatzel, even without Rain Up, which is annoying, or like can be. So it like is always after rocks, which is a bit rough. So that has limited sort of the number of decisions I can make, so I have to make sure I bring my 3 water resists. But they also have the ability to do Terra, I think it's Grass, Electric, Fairy, as well as Terra Water. And obviously Grass allows them to hit both Gastrodon and Dondozo, and thus make me use Dragolgi as a switch in to a Pokemon, and it doesn't really switch in that well to the water moves, nor Ice Spinner. So that's fun. And then there is Azumarill, who is like very, very, very strong, even into my team, even outside of rain, with really only Dozo stopping it. Oh. Yeah, so the good thing is that my opponent really doesn't have that many defensive switch-ins because they do have such an offensive version of a team. So I went with a more offensive version of a team, sort of in response. And like the hope is, if I can pick off Pelipper early and then keep Rain off, then I can use the fact that I'm generally speed advantaged here to try and win out. If we look at, yeah, this is the matchup section. Only 2 rock resists, only 1 fairy resist, which are the same Pokemon as well, which helps. And then the thing is that they look like they have a lot of water resists, but in rain they don't take Dozo that well. It is just kind of how that works. Like Pelipper can take it okay without an item boost, because it does have that 100 base defense, but Floatzel's not taking them very well. Gudra is taking it decently, but again not amazingly. Brute Bonnet is taking it pretty well, which is a bit spooky, and Azumarill is taking it better, but if it is Belly Drum, then it's got a lot less health just as a result of that. So this is sort of what my team wound up looking like. I've got this very bulky and pretty fast, so hopefully faster than the Azumarill. Dragolgi set, it's got HP, it's got defense, and then it has some reason for the bulk, I don't remember what it is. And if Overquill isn't around, or maybe in some circumstances, like if I expect Overquill to be switching in, I can throw up a Toxic Spike, and they are mostly pretty grounded. So Zapdos, Pelipper aren't, and then Jirachi wouldn't be affected, but getting the extra chip into Azumarill and Brute Bonnet is particularly nice. And you know, if the Donphan isn't boots, and if it does come, then you know that's helpful and all. Then we've got Spectral Bombi. This mon just needs to put out damage. It does have access to Sticky Web, which if I can remove Pelipper is very good. And if I can't remove Pelipper, it's still important just to get damage off, just to get damage and just put out damage. I've got this somewhat fast Galingo, it's got Sub, and it's got Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt lets it pick off Pelipper, and then Sub lets it hopefully stall out like turns of rain and get attacks off that I would have to lose the Pokemon to get in exchange and not have to make like annoying predictions. Should also be able to Sub on non-Carmine versions of Jirachi. My brain is just dying right now. Sorry about that. Yes. Physically bulky Gastrodon. This is technically especially defensive Dozo. It has Choice Band because it needs a Choice Band to, I think it was to Akio Pelipper. Let's check if that's true. Yeah, it gives me odds to Akio Pelipper. So if they are like specially defensive, which I think is pretty reasonable, then I am like basically guaranteed to Akio with Wave Crash, which is good. And like I said, the best next switch in is Brute Bonnet, which I do have a double edge for, because I didn't have defense investment, so I didn't want to go Body Press. Maybe I should, I don't know, all of these moves are like kind of important. Double edge isn't a strong into Pelipper, but like outside of rain, double edge is my best way to hit stuff. Yeah, it's not easy. This is not a good matchup by any means, but hopefully I can take advantage of its defensive sort of situation to do offensive damage. Yeah, I would say this is a matchup that I would say pretty strongly favors my opponent unless I can clear out Azumarill early. I've made mistakes in my life. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what they do wind up bringing. Here we go. I was right, no Donphan. No Urquell either. That's cool. Interesting to see. No Azur. One, two, three, four, five, six. Yeah, definitely interesting. Okay, so they did bring the Jirachi, which is the Fairy Resist. It's the a lot of things resist. No Ghost Resist. Oh no, this is a Ghost Resist. I need to remember that. So the one Ghost Resist did come. Oh yeah, and Sub lets me play around Sucker Punch from Brute Bonnet as well, which is nice. Did it learn Knockoff? It did not let get Knockoff. Okay, cool. Also, the Lycanroc is Terra Rock with Terra Blast because I really did not want to miss. I want to get Rocks up, but I don't know if I can. How comfortable I feel with leading. I think I do have to lead Lycanroc. Okay. Pelipper. Lycanroc. Terra Astalization. Okay, that's really good odds. I'm just going to go for Terra Blast. Jirachi. Is that leftovers? That is leftovers. Yeah, that's not great. Do I die Ironhead? I do. I could crunch though, just because getting damage on Jirachi means that Rebombi is unresisted. I'm going for the crunch. I could have gone for rocks! Okay, that's annoying. I could go Pelipper. Sorry, I could go Golengo. Could go Gastrodon as well and get a Spike Up. No, they could have Grass Knot. I think I go for Crunch. 60, okay, so they're pretty physically no, not as physically defensive. Not as defensive, I don't know, something. I think I've just lost. Oh my god, this team is annoying. I wish I'd Stealth Rocked on the funny thing. They do a Bug Buzz resists, so I can't lock that super confidently. So I think I have to go in the Geld and Sub. See what they bring in. Maybe throw a Make It Rain if it's Brute Bonnet. I have to throw a Shadow Ball in this turn for sure, while Jirachi's still in. It's only uh-oh if I somehow had 50 extra moves. Okay. Okay. Actually, not that scared. Initially, I'm like, oh gosh, this is quite spooky. Then I remembered I can just not attack the Pokemon in front of me. Okay, so the Jirachi's gone, which is good. No Fairy Resist. I think if I get Toxic Spikes up, that's pretty good. Fairy's still a bit spooked about the Zapdos. Okay. I'm just going to throw a Shadow Ball out here, because I expect them to obviously break my Substitute, and they will get the Wish Recovery back, but I'd like to get some information on the Pokemon, and obviously if it gets Spit F drop, that's nice. Okay. It is a Solvest then? Nope, it is not a Solvest. It would do even less if it was a Solvest. And which does come before Leftovers. So, Regen Vest. Okay, this thinks that it's in almost any ability. Is there no other... Let's try this set, which is its actual ability. So, Shadow Ball doing 22 suggests that it is, like, genuinely specially defensive. And then how much is Earthquake doing? 36 to 44. Okay. How much should it be taking for a Bombi then? 2 a Kyo, that's pretty good. Slash, Move Search, Gudra, Grass. Absorb and Power Whip. It probably does have Power Whip. I think I need to go into Ribombi. Went for... Crit the knockoff! Really? Critting the knockoff? That is just rude. That's super rude. Also, this Moonblast isn't doing that much. I think I have to go for it though. Surely it has Power Whip. Yeah, I mean, Moonblast, they still don't switch in particularly well, even if they do actually switch in now. Also, hopefully this Floatzel is adamant, because I am slower than it. I do have webs. I could go for webs. I just need the damage on Gudra. Yeah, I definitely need damage on Gudra. But webs is good as well. I think we can go for webs. Okay, so like, if they hadn't got the knockoff crit, I'd be in range of, I wouldn't be in range of the next Earthquake, right? I think I need to take the Moonblast damage. Should have rocked on the Rachi. They don't have any other rocks themselves, which is good. They don't have any other hazards. I mean, so this is definitely Power Whip. Last move is Dragon Move, I'm guessing, since they went for Earthquake. Yeah, being out of range of that would be very nice. That would, yeah, just would have been really nice. In the meantime, like, how am I actually breaking this? Am I going Dozo? That doesn't feel good. Doesn't feel good at all. Dozo, Heavy Slam is doing nothing. Double Edge is not a KO. Though that's into a physically defensive set. Double Edge can KO. But they're going to knock me off. I think I need to go for the Double Edge play. I don't know why I'm saying that, like it's just my best move into all of the Pokemon, except for Pelipper and Zapdos. Okay, well... Do I die to Hurricane? I do not, so I'm going for another one. That makes me think that they're specially defensive. I mean, I've just lost my 2 main offensive pieces, which isn't great. Oh, they can defog! But I don't mind it if they defog at the cost of Pelipper. Knock off! Does that still KO? It didn't. That's annoying. It's quite annoying, actually. Do I go Goldengo here, ever? I could go Dragolgi as well. I think I could go Dragolgi. Don't care that much about my item, and I really like to get Toxic Spikes up. If I'd locked into Wave Crash, it would be dead. Man, that did so much. Okay. Now, the question is, do I think I need the second one? Or do I think I just need to go for damage? I think I need to go for damage here. They don't have a Sludge Bomb resist. I may as well just pop Sludge Bomb, right? I'm effectively stalling out their rain, which is good. I mean, this Hurricane does a lot, but Sludge Bomb does a lot too. Oof. Okay. Yeah, they're saving the Pelipper for a last rain, which is definitely smart. I do have Webs up, which means I should be faster than Brute Bonnet, and probably also Goodra. Because it was quite bulky. Yeah. Yeah. The Pelipper was faster. Which does track. They're going for Sucker, aren't they? They could Toxic Spike once. Could switch. Don't know why I would switch into. I think I go for Toxic Spikes on the Sucker. I could Sludge Bomb here. I hate Sucker Punch mind games. It does KO for sure. I miss Lycanroc. Jirachi. Strong Pokemon. Yeah, and the knockoff spam has definitely been working out to their favor. The crit into Ribombee is really annoying, because having that extra turn of living a hit would be really nice. I definitely think this is Power Whip. I don't think I have any speed on Gastro though. I don't have any speed on Gastro or Dozo. So I need Dragolgi, which means I need to be willing to sack one of these two. Does Dozo live? Looks like Dozo lives. I could go hard Dozo now, and then just kind of like go for the Wave Crash. Should pick up Pelipper from this range. No, maybe not, maybe not, maybe not. How much does one take from Make It Rain? Not that much. I think I've actually lost a Floatzel. Goldengo, Floatzel at -1. Oh god, the Floatzel better not be Boots. Yeah, I think I've lost a Floatzel. Goldengo is faster than it if it's not Boots and it is Adamant, but if it's Jolly, it's faster. I kind of want to go Dozo. I just need this to beat Goodra. I'm going for Sludge Bomb. They haven't clicked either. I hate that. Bro, Sludge Bomb doesn't even guarantee KO against no bulk. Rain going away is definitely unfortunate. If they are no speed, then Dozo is faster, as is Gastro. Gastro doesn't do anything to it though, I would just be getting a Spike Up. Putting a Surf without Rain is not that interesting. So certainly I can trade this, right? And if they don't go for Sucker, and they just crunch, then Dragolgi dies, but Brute Bonnet also dies. And then I just don't beat Goodra. Still doesn't beat Goodra. Needs to go for it though. They went for the sucker. Ah, pain. Pain and suffering, actually. Both of them. Alright, GG. Okay, I think I make it rain this turn. Do I die to stomping? I don't. Or I don't reliably die to stomping. So I think I have to go for make it rain this turn. And then I need to not die to stomping. Okay. And then I need to switch. I mean, I've just lost so hard to Goodra at this point. Could go Gastro. I think going Gastro is probably the best play. It's like just not a relevant Pokemon at this point. Oh, I could have clicked sub. I had to play around it, right? I don't like this. Why are you coming in on me? That feels very incorrect. Never mind, it seems completely fine. Got Earth Power on the Roost. Because it covers the U-turn as well. Okay, so if they're physical... No, I need a Terra like Grasp. Dozo looks like it lives a Terra Blast. There's no wiggle Lego does. Yeah, even with the extra leftovers, it would have been a roll. So they're 100% clicking Terra Grass, Terra Blast here, and how do I win? I need to force them to take Wave Crash Recoil, which I can't. So I need to go Dozo. I need it not to be banded. So I need to live. Okay. Yeah, GGG's. I mean, I should Shadow Ball on the like off chance they make like a really weird switch. I needed the Rumbumby not to get crit on top of just everything else, and I don't have Protect, so. Should have switched on the Brute Bonnet, I guess. I hate Sucker Mind games. Why didn't I just go Gastro? Gastro wasn't useful. Wasn't beating Goodra, wasn't beating Pelipper. This could have been Rest Last as well. But I imagine it's Power. Yeah. Let's drop my paste. Do you want to post-game BC? I should also save the replay. Okay, they've got the replay up, that's cool. Oh, they're typing, that's a good sign. Yeah. I maybe I should have gone for the early Gastrodon and try to get the spike up. Okay, it does look like we will be having a post-game chat. Like, I needed these two Pokemon so much, but they were also all of my threat. I don't know, maybe I shouldn't have bought Gastro, but I feel like Gastro did force decision-making. Because the Pelipper never went for... It looks like the Pelipper didn't even have Hurricane. Smiley face. The Pelipper didn't even have one of its dual stabs. The knockoff spam was definitely strong. Didn't even get rocks up. I don't know why this... I get Wish Protect, but I feel like Wish Protect was maybe a bit much. Yeah. I just needed to preserve HP on Pokemon that I didn't have the ability to preserve HP on, being Rabombi and Lycanroc, because they were the ones that won, but they were also the only ones that let me position to win. Let's see if this is banded adamant. So it is adamant. So if I did have the if I did manage to stall out rain, if I'd wave crashed that Pelipper on the instead of double edging it, then I could have won. That's frustrating. Because it would have been slower than Goldengo. It would have been difficult still, even with then. So it would have had a number of extra pieces. But yeah, I needed to have killed the Pelipper, right? That's sort of the reality of where I was. This wasn't specially defensive. It was Assault Vest with no Spadef. Okay, not that different then. I was right. It was walled by Rabombi, so if I had gotten the if I hadn't been crit, I would have lived an extra hit and I would have been able to do more damage to it. Though the Moonblast did not actually wind up doing that much, because it was Assault Vest. So slightly bulkier than the Max Spadef set. I don't know. Maybe I should have U-turned with the Rabombi. Alright. Mono Hydra, okay.
Hey, what's up?
Hello! I am just taking a look over your paste.
Yeah, so funny story. I tried changing a couple of the sets last minute, and Showdown just decided to make a copy of the team instead.
Of course.
With the exact same name. So, yeah, I thought that I was going to have Rocks on Jirachi and Zapdos was going to be Specs, but I've got Boots and Protect there. Okay. Honestly, the Protect on Jirachi was better in the situation that it ended up in.
Oh yeah, I love getting subbed on. Body Slam Ironhead. You're... No. What is this Jirachi? You know that, yeah, because Ironhead, Body Slam Ironhead is meant to do the same thing as Protect.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
But Protect was just kind of there for like scouting and leftovers recovery a little bit.
Brute Bonnet is ungodly bulky. I was checking, and it lived a Sludge Bomb even if it had no bulk, which is
really
insane. Yeah.
I just assumed that it was going to KO me, so I just locked myself into Sucker because I thought I didn't have an option.
Yeah, I was like 50-50, like super hard between switching Gastro and staying in with Trigolgi, just to like set the Gastro. Though I would have been faster than your Brute Bonnet because you had no speed. And you were webs.
Yep. The game we played. I was hoping to get a Spore off on something because
but why?
I like hitting
so
spores.
You have like a super offensive team, and then it feels like you just brought some pieces in ways that weren't congruent with that at all. Like, I think the only reason that you were at any risk of me winning was because you just had like a Jirachi set that was awful, and then a Brute Bonnet set that, you know, was not as good as it could have been, and then like the Pelipper didn't even have Hurricane against my team.
Yeah, I was a little fast on the sets. I just copy-pasted my Pelipper set from last week where I didn't have Hurricane because the other guy had
Wind Rider.
Bramblegast, yeah.
Yeah.
So that was an oversight. Jirachi, yeah,
I find it being pretty effective. If you hadn't crit me with Goodra, then Rabombi would have gotten an extra attack off, which was cool.
Yeah.
Because I'd removed the rocks, so I probably would have U-turned out. I just needed to get more damage into Goodra. I don't know. I didn't realize you were Assault Vest. I hadn't calculated the damage. I thought you were like max Spadef, and I was worried you might be like rest hydration, but no, you were gooey.
Yeah, hydration. I should have brought hydration. I completely overlooked the T-spikes from Drealge. That was not in the plan.
Yeah, I mean, I was scared of Overgrowth, but I didn't have a better last move. I needed to get something. Words are escaping me right now. I needed to get... Well, obviously you killed my Lycanroc and Rabombi in the early game, who were my two main fast offensive options. But yeah, I definitely wish I'd switched in Gastrodon or Dozo on that Sucker Punch turn.
Yeah, basically my
or Grieving
whole
Golden Go would
my
have
whole
actually been
view
fine.
of this
So
week.
would give me a little
Yeah.
extra leftovers.
Yeah, Bonnet was kind of the offensive check to Golden Go. Was
And that worked
its
out so
main
well.
intent there. Yeah,
It
that wasn't how I thought that 1v1 was going to go.
seems it.
I was kind of expecting more of a, maybe like Spec Shadow Ball or something that I'd resist. And if I suckered and sucker failed for some reason.
Why'd you go with the Terra?
Then stomping
Yeah. If I had switched in on that turn, why'd you go for the Terra Grass on Bonnet?
Bonnet, I didn't think it mattered. I felt like it was 100% always going to be Floatzel going grass.
Yeah, I mean,
Just
my
because
thought process
I
on
was
why
under the impression
I would consider running a different one would be if you did have to switch Floatzel in, like you did obviously on that Gastron turn. If Floatzel came in and then just like got crit and died, it is nice to have an alternative Terra.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's literally like the entire thought process. It's just like, if I get haxed, I'd like to have the funny mechanic. But yeah,
that's fair.
Your team
I feel
was,
like with my team,
the knockoff spam definitely wound up working out some decently well. The Goodra being hard walled by Rabombi was something I was hoping to rely on, but obviously the crit meant that instead of taking 4 hits to KO, I only took 3 hits to KO.
Yeah, whoops.
And coming in on knockoff over coming in on Earthquake was definitely a bit rough. Definitely would have preferred to come in on Earthquake.
Yeah, or a non-crit knockoff.
Yes, certainly a non-crit knockoff would have helped, but if I'd come in on Earthquake, I could have threatened you with a 2 at KO. Wouldn't have gotten webs up though, which would have been not as nice. But yeah, I was like, so Jirachi is like the only Moonblast switch in on this entire team. It's also the only Rock switch in outside of Donphan, which I don't think is coming. But yeah, obviously it was an effective switch in to Rock. I went with Terra Blast because I didn't want to miss Stone Edge.
Was that Terra Blast Rock? I honestly forgot.
Yeah, it was Terra Blast Rock.
Oh god. Yeah, that's fair.
I should have just gone hard Goldango on the Protect. Or click Rocks on the Protect. But yeah. I'm not sure why you think Protect was better over Rocks. Wouldn't Rocks have been really good and then Protect not that useful?
Agreed. That's why I tried to change the set. It's just Showdown 8 that. I think it's because I didn't back out of the team builder before I clicked the accept challenge.
Yeah, no, yeah, you gotta do the same thing of clicking back to the main team section. It is always a joy.
I didn't do that, so I got the set that I made in 5 minutes as opposed to
the one that you changed in an extra minute.
Yeah,
that's fair. That
6 minute would have been really important, man.
I'm sure. But yeah, the Floatzel being adamant was something that I was like kind of prepping around, but I should have wave crashed as the Pelipper came in, so it would have been 2 at KO'd even with the knockoff. But that was just a bad play. I just was like too cautious about Goodra coming in there. I just should have.
Yeah, I was not expecting ban Dondozo. I was expecting Dondozo to just
do nothing,
completely wall Floatzel.
I mean, it was bulky. It just was not gonna like, even with like max defense, it isn't gonna wall Dozo that hard. It was meant for the Banded was meant to check Azumarill.
I see.
Floatzel, Choice Band, Grass, Terra Blast,
max
Terra Grass.
Defense.
It's doing it. It's a 2 at KO to max defense, so it's not really walling it.
Yeah, I see 48 to 57.
Yeah.
So I did not think that I was gonna KO Dondozo when you switched it in the 70s, because I was pretty sure it was gonna be max def, and that was a pleasant surprise.
Yeah, I mean, it would have 2 at KO'd, and then I would have had to have Gastrodon beat the Power Whip Goodra, which would have proved to be difficult, I think.
Yeah.
Does Power Whip have 8 or 16 PP? I need to know how many I had to dodge.
Sorry, say again?
16. I said, does Power Whip have 8 or 16 power points? I need to know how many I have to dodge. And the answer is I'd have to dodge 16.
Okay.
So even if Dozo did live that Terra Blast.
Yeah, more you know.
I would have been difficult, I think.
Well, you only would have needed to survive until Gudra got toxic down to death.
That is true. That is probably less than 16.
So probably like 2 or 3 or something.
I don't know. I probably should have gone for the extra toxic spike on that turn against Brute. I don't know.
Well,
I hate everything. I hate every decision I make. Yeah. So
the
my
game
thoughts
we
were
play.
that you would calc and see that Brute Bonnet lived the Sludge Bomb, and that you should just attack me anyways. And then I didn't want to switch in because then you would get damage on the Pokemon being switched in, and then you would die to like poison after I attack. But it was just I don't know. I needed all of my Pokemon, and you only needed like 2 of yours, being Pelipper and Floatzel. So you could just sack your entire team and not really care, and then I could not afford to lose any of my Pokemon.
Yeah, this team is kind of nice when I don't have to worry about Specs Greninja priority or something.
Yeah, well, I did have the Excel Rock. I just lost it in the early game.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have a good lead. I think that's definitely like the sort of issue. And you had the Spadef on Pelipper, which means it wouldn't have died to Rebombi. Not that like any bulk on meant that you weren't echoed by Moonblast, which is annoying, but is what it is.
Yep.
But yes, the Rebombi would have been faster than thing, and most of your Pokemon, I think all of your Pokemon, with the exception of Jirachi that you brought, would have been too echoed by it. No, yeah, well, without knockoff, it would have double to echoed the Gudra, but
yeah,
obviously you did have knockoff, so. Oh well, I just wanted Rebombi to do fun things.
It'll have its time to shine.
I think this was his best week, so.
It's such a good draft, man.
It's very fun. I mean, it's an OU Pokemon that I got for very cheap, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, OU Pokemon, you know, that's... do you even have any Pokemon that are in OU?
Zapdos.
Is that true?
List.
Zapdos is an OU, you know? Okay, so I've got, I think, 2 OU Pokemon. No, 3 OU Pokemon. How am I losing games when I'm basically just running an OU team? You know, the main OU
right?
core of Dondozo, Rebombi, right? Yeah. Honestly, I have no idea what to take.
Heatran isn't OU anymore, is it?
No, Heatran is not OU. Oh, Corviknight's OU as well, isn't it? Actually, I have no idea if it is. Yeah, Corviknight's OU. I have 4 OU Pokemon. What am I doing? How am I losing games? I say that as I am 1-1.
The season is young.
My powerful 4 OU Pokemon team. Before the latest DLC, it would have been 4 different OU Pokemon. Without the Rebombi there, but you know, now the Rebombi and Heatran have traded places. I guess we know who's the better hazard setter. One day. But yeah, look, it was a fun game. Thank you for playing. And your team's crap, so
well.
If you lose a game, it's all on you. That's just, you know.
100%.
Any play you make.
Looking forward to seeing the...
Yeah. Any play you make.
Sorry.
Just any play you make.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just needed health on every single one of my Pokemon. It was annoying. I think I could have won with Lycanroc, but I lost it early, and I should have just gone Goldengo.
Yeah, it could have done some damage late.
If I'd gotten Rocks up, the Pelipper also would be dead. But how am I supposed to know that you were clicking Protect in front of Lycanroc? That was kind of like a random play. Actually, why did you click Protect in front of Lycanroc?
Because I wasn't sure what it was gonna do.
But what if it just set Rocks, or it Swords Danced? Or subbed?
Well, that would have sucked.
Yeah, obviously I went for the attack.
Sometimes better to be lucky than good, right?
Sometimes it's better that your opponent is bad than that you were good, I think.
Sometimes it's better that you're bad and your opponent doesn't expect it.
You know, I mean, I just needed damage on Jirachi, and you know what? I got damage on Jirachi and I still lost. So yeah, the knockoff was very strong from the Pelipper and Gudra. I don't even know what move you should drop for Hurricane. I guess a U-turn. U-turn didn't wind up being that useful.
On Pelipper? Oh, I would have dropped Hydro.
Okay, now that's insane. What? Then you would have been walled by Goldengo.
What was the water?
Like you
what was
wouldn't
the
break
water coverage gonna do?
You wouldn't break Knock with Sub.
Oh,
you wouldn't break Sub with Knock.
If I needed Pelipper to break Goldengo, then I was screwed.
I can rock
That's
them.
what Floatzel's for.
Floatzel's for the priority Pokemon.
Floatzel.
I had
Oh
that
yeah,
Turtle
you're
Rock
right.
Excel Rock with Life.
Yeah, yeah.
It does 54 to 64 to Floatzel, which is funny.
Whoops.
Terra Blast is barely a KO because I'm not running Stone Edge. More damage than Rock Slide though. Just without the funny flinch. But yeah, thank you for your time.
Yep.
Thank you everyone for watching as well. Please leave a comment down below about how you think I will come back at this 1-1 juncture of the season. And goodbye.